This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so let's start. Uh, like so today we will be continuing with the sessions. So today's day one. So today we'll be mainly looking into the introductory part, like how what introduction more on the chaos engineering to understand some fundamentals and basics of chaos engineering, and also we will see one simple experiment using Gremlin, just quickly how you can start an experiment, how you basically configure Gremlin quickly onto a host. Okay, so that let's see. Just sharing my screen. Yeah. So last session we were seeing on the like we stopped at this slide where we were seeing the history of chaos engineering. So if just quickly if you see, Chaos Engineering started with a tool called Chaos Monkey. Okay, so Chaos Monkey basically it was introduced by Netflix when they were trying moving on to cloud, like they were moving on to AWS. So that time Netflix introduced the tool Chaos Monkey. Then what they did is the Chaos Monkey had a limitation that could be used only to shut down the nodes. Like the attack which it supported was just to shut down. Like you can shut down a node or restart a node. Only that's it. Okay, it doesn't give you much of any other attack. Chaos Monkey. So they wanted other attacks also like latency or like let's CPU utilization. So for those also they created one tool. Like for example for latency. They created chaos, like similar. They created chaos Kong, chaos Gorilla, like different tools they created, and they gave all that tools together name Simian Army, because Simian means little bit related to monkey. So Simian Army they gave the name. Now this chaos monkey they released it on GitHub. Okay, so that even others also could use that when they were moving on to cloud. They could do the experiments on cloud using chaos monkey. So this way chaos engineering gave, like I can say, that was the first time when chaos engineering became very popular, because everyone could use it. Now, the person who founded Gremlin was an employee in Netflix. He left Netflix and started Gremlin. And Gremlin is the only paid tool currently available in the market, reliable one, which is explicitly for chaos. Now, what is chaos engineering? Let's try to understand it little deeper by the definition. So, chaos engineering is the discipline of experimenting on a system in order to build confidence in the system's capability to withstand turbulent conditions in production. This is what the definition is. Okay. So, this definition is very important to understand because these are some keywords which forms the foundation of chaos engineering. Okay. So, first of all, we have experimenting. So, why anyone can you guess like why are we saying it's experimenting and not testing? Any guess? Anyone? Nilima, Joseph, Mohan?
What was the question, please?
Yeah. So we always say experimenting in chaos engineering, not testing. So any guess like why we say that?
Experiment is like just trying to see the outcome.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. So here we don't have an expected outcome. Okay. So we can't say it's a testing. Okay. So here we are looking for what will be the outcome, but we don't know what it will be. What's expected? There is no expected outcome. So that's why we are saying it's experimenting. Chaos engineering is all about experimenting, because whatever we are doing, we might not know what we are getting back. Okay, so we are not looking for an expected outcome. We are looking for some uh, hypothesis. We call it hypothesis means okay, this could happen, but and we will try to see like whether it is really happening. Okay, and also on a system in order to build confidence in the system's capability. So what do we mean by this is, for example, you are applying a new technology, and if you don't test it, or we can say, let's say, I want to, like, there's a new DB, let's say, or new technology, new programming language, Go, let's say. I want to apply this Go programming to my application, or like I need to develop that application using Go programming, but I don't have any specific or tool, or like, let's say, which can say that Go programming is reliable and my application won't break down in production. But if I have a tool which can say, okay, this is you can go ahead with it, and in production nothing will happen. You can easily choose the Go programming. So there you are building confidence in the system's capability, and you are quickly adopting new technologies, right? So that is how chaos engineering helps you in building confidence in the system's capability, right? So first of all, it's an experimenting, and it also builds confidence in the system's capability. And last is, it will look for how your system will withstand the turbulent conditions. So here withstand is not failure. Okay. So because in chaos engineering we are not speaking about failures. Now what happens is, like, generally we get confused with failover and chaos engineering. So if you take failover, anyone heard about failover? Like what generally what they do in failover testing?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yeah.
I can answer.
Yeah,
So,
go
for
ahead.
example, due to any reason, a microservice got down. So, and it took a minute or a few time to come back. So, what will be the behavior of the system in that?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
believe that we check
Hmm.
in failover.
Yeah. So there's a slight difference in failover. So the thing is, in failover, we are more worried about whether your system is withstanding the failure. So withstanding means like nothing should happen to my system when that failure event is occurring. Okay. But in chaos engineering, what we are worried about is the recovery. So though your system fails, like let's say my system fails and it starts giving 500 error, okay, or internal server errors or timeout errors, it starts giving me those errors. But after some 5 minutes, the system itself recovers. So there's a difference between system itself recovering and we making it to recover. Okay. The system itself recovering is like it has some mechanisms to bring up that pod, or bring up that system, right? So that we will see, like whether your system is able to do that. So that is what our main objective in chaos engineering is all about. Okay. So here we are more worried about recovery rather than whether it's able to withstand the failure. It's more about recovery, how fast it will recover. So here no one will say that your system will not fail. It could fail, okay, but how fast your system can recover from that failure on its own. So the keywords to that is, first, recovery, and on its own. So recover on its own. Okay, so that is what is all about chaos engineering all about. Okay, we need to test that. We need to find out, that's our objective, whether our system is able to do these on its own and recover. Okay, and if it's not, we have to fix that. And we means like using including the development team and all, we need to fix that, and we need to retest it. Okay. Now, controlled and planned chaos experiments. So, what do we mean? So, basically, in chaos engineering, there is a notion like we can do anything, but it's not anything. We have a specific plan, okay, an objective which we need to plan and we need to execute. It's not that we can run any chaotic experiment and justifying, okay, this could happen in real time. No, there has to be a clear justification. Okay, this is what is happening, and this is why you are doing this, and what's your objective behind doing that experiment. Okay. Now, preparing for unpredictable failures. So see, generally chaos engineering, when you define a test case or when you are planning something, what you generally do is you look for some unpredictable failures also. See, what happens is in production, if you look for all the predictable ones, sometimes the unpredictable events also occur, right? So you need to have a little bit of an imagination also. Okay, this could happen in production, so we can do it. Okay, now preparing engineers for failure. Again, chaos engineering helps you in preparing engineers for some events. Like for example, so what do you mean by that is, like let's say there is an outage in your production. Okay, and the outage is caused by order microservice, let's say. Now this specific event when it occurs, how should be my chain of command, right? Like chain of command means how should the point of contacts react or respond to this event. So if that event doesn't occur, we can't test it. So what we do, we create that event and we test how my team will respond or react to that event. So that is how chaos engineering also helps in training your team, right? You can use chaos engineering for training the team also, like how the team will react or respond to an event. Okay. Next is preparing for game days. So game days, we will see what are game days as we progress. It's nothing but when you run the test in production. So that days we generally call game days. So how you prepare for that game days and all, using chaos engineering, you can easily understand and you can implement. So any question, anyone till now in this slide? Right. Yeah. So now to put it in little simpler way, little bit more on what all other things chaos engineering can do. First of all, it will help you to improve the SLAs. It will help you to fortify your systems, means like your systems will become more reliable, and you can build and move fast, means you can adopt new technologies faster. Okay, so that's what build and move fast is, because you have something to test the new technologies. So you can easily build and move fast compared to your competitors. And building confidence in the system, obviously, because you can test everything, so you will become more confident in your system that you can increment further, okay, the technologies or even the business cases. Okay, and reveal weak points in your systems and building assurance that you can still serve your customers. Okay, because there is no discontinuity or there is a business continuity, you can have a confidence in that. Yeah, and this is also a very important question: what is not chaos engineering? Okay, because generally when you start doing something, we know what it is, but we don't know what is not inside that, okay, or what is not being covered in that. Okay, so first of all, chaos engineering is all about, it's not about randomness, okay, that we need to take care. So as I said before also, we need to have a proper planning, proper justification of what we are doing. Okay, so there is no randomness in chaos engineering. So whenever you do something, it's not that okay, I can do anything. We have a proper plan and no random experiments or random objectives we do. Okay, we only do as per our plan and a specific objective. Then unsupervised chaos we never do. Okay, whenever you run an experiment, there is supervision. You monitor properly, you take care of your experiments properly, and then only you proceed. Okay, and also unmonitored chaos experiments you don't do. Again, you monitor it properly, and even unexpected ones also you don't do. Okay, so unexpected one means like you're doing the experiment, suddenly you feel okay, I will do this experiment also. No, you don't do that. Okay, you will do as per your plan only. And breaking production by accident you will never do. When you are running, if you are planning a test in production or experiment in production also, then you need to take care that you don't break it, because once you break it you lose the confidence in what you are doing. Right, so you need to be very careful that you don't break the production. If at all you find some issue, you need to have a proper rollback plan, how you can roll back from that event. And creating outages, so you should not create any outages, that also you should take care.
I have a question.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like thinking that this course engineering is something we perform on the lower environment because
Correct, yes.
it's not
Mhm.
really nice for one to try to do tests on, when they say shift lefts, everything
Yeah.
should be done on the lower environment. I was thinking that this chaos engineering is only for the lower environment. But now that you mentioned production, how come do they allow that particular issue, or bugs, to get into production?
Yeah, that's a good question. So see, basically, this chaos engineering is more sort of an activity done by SREs, and SREs are very close to production. Okay. So now, what generally happens is in an organization, let's say you have some 10 test cases. Okay. So basically, you have 10 test cases or 10 objectives which you need to test, or 10 type of events which you need to test. So now, out of the 10, all these 10 you will test it on the lower environments, like for automation or testing environment. What all environment you have, based on the objective or test case what you have, you test it on those environments. Now once you test it, let's say you found out of these 10 test cases, you found issue in 2 test cases, and you fix what you do, you fix that issue, again you test it on the lower environment. So first you found the issue in the lower environment, you fix that issue, and again you test it on the lower environment. Once you have fixed that 2 issues, generally what happens is that 2 issues which you have fixed, the 2 issues which you have fixed, you run it on production. So only after fixing it, you run it on production. It's not you find an issue in production. Okay, this is just for you have
Okay,
found that issue on the
in the
lower
lower
environment.
environment.
Yes.
Okay,
Then after you fix it, you take the window in the production. Maybe generally what happens is we will learn that as we progress, how we take
okay,
the window in production and all. Maybe generally it is 15 minutes of window max which we take in production, and also it is generally during the low peak hours, non-business hours. Okay, we don't do it on very high traffic hours. We do it only on known business hours, and also we make sure we don't break the production. Though something happens wrong, also we properly have people to roll back the system, and that is happening. uh, is it clear, Joseph, now?
another question is, if
Yeah.
this is
Mhm.
done on production, let's assume
Yeah.
it's done on production. Is this chaos engineering trying to fix something, or from your explanation you say is experimenting?
Yeah. Mhm.
So going to production is, to perform this experiment is something I don't understand. I thought this experiment,
Correct.
yeah,
Mm.
when you say make sure it does not break something, that means this particular experiment will also be done in production.
Yes, correct. So see, that's what I'm saying. So there's 2 test cases which you fixed in lower environment. So you found the issue, you fixed it. Okay. Then
Mhm.
after fixing only you will run it on production. Just to see whether in production also it has been fixed. Because why this chaos engineering came into picture is whatever we are testing in lower environments, but in production incidents are happening, right? Though we are testing everything in lower environments, there are incidents happening, outages happening in production. So there is something which is different in production compared to the lower environment. But
Uh-huh.
basically the dependencies or the traffic or the infrastructure, it could be the combination of all of this. So once you have fixed it in the lower environments, you test it in production also to make sure that the issue has been resolved fully. And when you're testing it in production, obviously you have fixed that issue, right? So in production that issue won't come, but if it comes, then that issue is not fixed, you have to fix it.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, um, let's assume we have two lower environments where we conduct our
Right.
tests.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably we say DT2, DT3. DT2, that is the first test environment,
Yeah.
and DT3, the second test environment.
Yeah.
Now we have run this chaos engineering on the DT2 environment, which is the first test environment after the configuration changes. You want to test to see if all those configuration that were sent into the code is actually, those changes are just part of the stories we have from our customers during the
Yeah.
sprint.
Mm.
And let's assume all those stories were configured into the code, and we happen to run a deployment in
Yeah.
DT2, which is the first test environment.
Correct.
After
Mm.
running that, we say, okay, let's conduct a chaos engineering on that DT2 environment. That is a fresh new code. Remember, we just completed the sprint, so we trying to go to
Correct.
production. So
Yes.
these are just a snapshot. I'm talking in practical viewpoint.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
we tested in the first environment, which is the DT2 environment, and the chaos engineering. Maybe we happen to have like two issues, and those two issues are being resolved.
Yeah.
Now we move that code to another environment, which is DT3 environment,
Okay.
development testing environment 3,
Yeah.
and we run it, and then we don't have those two issues that we saw we had in the previous environments.
Yes.
After then, probably that is the last test. The customer has given sign off. Then we promote it. After promoting them, we go to the higher environment, which is UAT, before the go no go, which is the production.
Yeah.
But from what you are explaining, does it mean that even when the thing is being resolved, the experiment is successful, there is everything is fixed, we still go to production and we have the same issue that we had during the testing, that we have resolved it, and we have to run a chaos engineer on the production?
Yeah. So just answering your question. Okay. Take two cases. Okay. Case one, case two. Case one, your stakeholders are allowing to do in production. Okay. And case two, stakeholders are not allowing in production.
Okay.
So they are not allowing in production. So here, let's take this one, the simplest one first. They are not allowing in production. So what you do generally, you test it in lower environments and you get the sign off. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the stakeholders generally, now in my organization, they are allowing. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
they are allowing for test in production because there are two reasons mainly. One is we have brought that confidence that whatever we do, we will not break the production, because the process what we have established is we will fix that issue in the lower environments,
Mm-hmm.
right? So whatever and when we have fixed that issue in the lower environments, obviously that should have been fixed in production also, and we are running the same thing on production. So ultimately, if it breaks also, we keep a rollback plan. So that stakeholders, we have made that confidence, we have brought them into confidence by running the lower environment test for a long duration. Like we used to do this case 2 for maybe 1 year. Then after that only we have reached the case 1. Okay. So what mainly I'm saying is, so these are the two cases you can follow. One is you are doing it on only the lower environments and you are giving the sign off, because yeah, nowadays we can't say chaos engineering is that matured that they allow you to do in production. Okay. But ultimately, as time moves on, surely it will come, there will be a time that chaos engineering will be done on production, because chaos engineering fundamentals are mainly for testing production only, because whatever you are doing in lower environments, ultimately what you are trying to do is what all real world events happen in production, right? Ultimately, so ultimately it will come to, so in your organization, if they are not allowing for production, do it on lower environments. Okay. If they are allowing in production, run only those test cases which are fixed. Don't run any new one in production. Okay. That you need to take care, that you are not running any new test case which you haven't tested in lower environment directly in production. No, you shouldn't do that. Is it clear, Joseph, now?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So ultimately, if you say, like, if you ask me, like, whether the production test is important, yes, it is important. But yeah, if your stakeholders, ultimately they are the king, right? If they say no, you don't, no need to run the test in production, test it in lower environment, then that's it, you have to follow that. But ultimately you can bring them into confidence. Okay, you are not breaking your lower environments in the past so many days of testing also. So ultimately in production also it will be safe. If at all something goes wrong, also if you have a proper rollback plan, they might allow you for in non-business hours, maybe 15 minutes of a window. Okay, that's what generally happens. Before I go to this, let's go to Gremlin once. Okay, before I go to the next slide. Yeah. So today what we will do when you are planning an attack, okay, or when you are planning an experiment in this is a Gremlin tool dashboard. Okay, so we will be seeing some basic hands-on, and today we'll be seeing a basic overview. And as we progress in the course, we will be seeing different attacks, what are those attacks, their attributes and all. So today, just basic installation, like how you start this Gremlin agent on a host. So basically, there are different components like Docker is there, Kubernetes is there. For each of these different components, different ways are there to initialize Gremlin, to install Gremlin. So we will be seeing that. So today we will start with how you configure Gremlin for a host, and you start a basic attack. So that's what our objective will be. Okay. So let's see how we do that. So for that purpose, what I will do is I will be using AWS Cloud. Here I'll be creating a basic Ubuntu instance. Okay, so it is simple. If you can try any other cloud also, even Google Cloud. I'll just open the Google Cloud side by side.
Sir, I have a question. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm interrupting. Sir,
yes, yes,
do you have any like plan, means in which you put it some scenarios that we generally check in chaos engineering?
yes, we have. We will be as I said, it's a 20-hour course, so you will have a lot of things coming. Not only so we will learn how to create a use case, how to define a use case, how to create a test plan, everything.
Sure, sure. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. So generally in Google Cloud, okay, if once you buy a free trial they give around $300 credit. Okay. So once you do that, in Google Cloud also there is like you can use the compute engines. Okay. Compute engines are nothing but the EC2 instance in AWS. So in that, if you go to VM instances, you can create the VMs. Okay, with a little bit of some small it's very easy. You can just enable the compute engine API and then it will start. So now coming to AWS, so since we will be using AWS, I will be creating an EC2 instance. Once you are in AWS, you will land on this page. Okay, click on EC2, or if you don't see that option, just go to the search bar and type EC2. You can see that option. Okay, you click on that. Now here what you do, just create and launch instance. Okay, now here I already have one instance running. Okay, so what I will do is, okay, let me show you from first time. Okay, no issues. Just click on launch instance, give some name, like let's say I will give chaos demo 1, and here you type Ubuntu. Okay, so now in Ubuntu, try to choose version 18. Okay, which is a stable version. Just select 18.04. So once you're chosen, you will see that here. Okay, can see that here. Okay, now once that is done, the instance type, just select this small arrow here. Now here type T, whichever is under your free eligibility. Okay, free tier, just select T2 micro only, that is enough. Basically it is free tier eligible. Basically you don't need to pay for that. Okay, now next is key pair. What you can do is you can create a new key pair or just select what I already have one. Otherwise what you can do is you can just click create new pair, give the name of that pair or demo and give, I will give ppk. Okay, you can also use ppk and create key pair. Automatically that key will be downloaded also. Okay, now once that is done, security groups, you can create a security group. What you can do is you just select create security group and just select these two options also. Okay, allow. Okay, and then what you can do is here what you need to do, give around 15 GB and you can keep GP2. No need to change that. Then others no need to do anything. Okay, just select launch instance. Now go to your instance. This is the instance which we created, still getting up. Okay, so wait for some time until it's up. Okay, now it's running. Just copy this public IP. Okay, if you go on this page, just how you go to this page is just click on this instance ID. You will go on this page. Okay, select copy this. Now what you need to do is you need to download a tool called Putty. Okay, Putty is just you just go online, just enter Putty, okay, and you will go to this download Putty and download the Putty. Okay, just click on download Putty. So many versions will come. Okay, what you can do is download the first one. Okay, once you downloaded it, install it and you can open Putty. Okay, so this will open. Now here what you can do is just give chaos demo name, okay, and select save. Okay, now host name you give control V. Now go to this SSH auth credentials. Now browse that private key which you downloaded. Okay, just go to browse and downloads the private key which you downloaded, open. Okay, so basically it's in the auth credentials, SSH auth credentials. First option, private key file for authentication, you give the private key. Now go back to the top session. Okay, and give open, you give accept. Okay, and log in as you give Ubuntu. Okay, so you will be, now this is a machine which you are accessing, basically the machine which you created on AWS, that is what you are accessing from here. Okay, just give sudo -i. Basically I'm going root. So for people who already know these things, they can maybe like a revision or you can ignore also, but this is generally I do this for everyone because there's a mix of audience, so there might be some people who don't know the Unix commands, don't know the AWS, so I just try to explain everything so that there's a uh, to convey everyone there's no doubts
It's
regarding
good.
that.
It's good. It's good. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Mm.
okay, yeah. So now coming to the root, we are going root. Okay. So now what we will do first is we will set up this instance, this host. Like now we have a host. I need to attach this host. So what I will do to set up the Gremlin application, okay, or how I can connect Gremlin with this. Okay. So if I now enter Gremlin init, I will get nothing. Okay, I will get gremlin command not found. Okay, so now we will have to first connect our gremlin with this. So how do we do that? Okay, so let's see that.
So Gremlin must be installed in the host we want to perform the experiment.
Correct, yes. Not installed, it's the agent. We are not installing the Gremlin as such, installing the Gremlin agent.
Okay, agent. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I had a file, but okay, now that's fine. I will just show you that commands here. Yeah. So first of all, we are using currently Ubuntu. Okay. So I will use this one. Okay. It's basically related to Ubuntu, or you're using Debian. You can use these commands. So I will copy the first command. Basically, here we are installing. We are adding the packages. Okay. Just copy this. Run this command. I will put that commands in this file. Okay. Uh, just a minute. And I'll be sharing all these files to you. So no worries. Okay. So once you have done that, next is we need to add a GPG key. I think like you would have also seen this before. Generally we use that. Um, yeah, before that we'll add the Gremlin repo also. So first we'll add the Gremlin repo. Yeah, we have added the Gremlin report. Now next is you'll add a GPG key. Basically, it's a privacy guard key, we call it. Basically, like see, there is some agent which you're installing, right? And how your agent will know whether, and even your machine will know that you are getting the request from a correct source, right? So this privacy guard, this GPG key will do that, okay? So you need to run this command for that, okay? So that key has been published, okay? So
You
now
didn't
next is,
you didn't you didn't add the second command you copied to the documentation.
yeah. I will copy, yes.
Okay.
Thanks for reminding. Right? So we have this. Okay. Yeah.
Good. That's good.
So yeah. Now we have added the GPG key. Now what we will do is we will install Gremlin. So to do that, run sudo apt update, sudo apt install Gremlin and Gremlin daemon. So run it. So whenever you are running these, okay, always take care of the output of the command what you are getting. Okay, you should not get any errors when you're running this, because errors you need to take care. You should not go to the next step if you get any errors. Warnings are fine. Generally 90% of the time warnings you can ignore, but the errors you need to fix it, okay, because errors generally happen due to some access issues, conflicts, so that you need to fix. Okay, mainly most of the time the error will be due to access, like you are not able to access a repo, or you are not having the proper permissions to do that. So you need to get that, or else what you need to do is you need to get the help of the people who have that permission to install it, right? So now we have installed Gremlin. So now the next step is you have installed a service, right? So you need to initialize that service also. So how do you do that? Just run gremlin init. Okay. So once you enter gremlin init, you will be asked for your team ID. So where do I get the team ID? So go to gremlin. Now go back to gremlin. Let me open gremlin.
So after
Go
the
to the
installation, you run the gremlin init.
correct gremlin init. That
Okay.
also I will enter. Let's say
Okay.
initialize. These are there in the slides. I will show you.
Hmm.
Just all these commands are there in the slide. Okay. Now here, what you need to do is you need to get the team ID. So how do I get the team ID? Just click on this icon here. Go to account settings and go to security. Oh, sorry. Go to the team settings. Okay. Yeah, team settings and go to configuration. Here you will find the team ID and the secret key also. Okay. So team ID, let's copy it, copy ID and just paste it here somewhere. Okay. So right, and next is you have to copy a secret key. So secret key is generally I'm not resetting it now. I have already created one. You have to save it somewhere, okay, and keep it. It will not be available always for you to copy. So when you're creating a secret key, you have to copy it and paste it somewhere. So I have it already, so I will use that one, because if I reset it now, the others who are using the account, they will lose the access. Okay, so I'm not
Okay.
doing that. I'll copy it, which we already have. Yeah, so we have it here. Okay.
Where you keep it might even confuse us. I think it should be after the initialize init
Yeah, yeah,
command.
I'm doing that. Yes.
Yeah, because we want to do according to how you do yours, so we can
Yeah, yeah,
understand.
yeah. So basically, the thing is, you can follow this one also. This is module 3. So here you have those. I'll show you. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Okay. So these are the commands which we ran. Okay, just to
Okay.
show you. Yeah. So now we have the team ID and team secret. So just copy it. So team secret, you also need, everyone has to use the same thing because we are using the same account. Okay. So team secret remains same. So control C. So what I'll do is now I've given the team ID, and when you're pasting the team secret, be careful because it doesn't display in front of you. Okay. So if you paste it twice, it will give an error. So I'm just pasting so now it's pasted. Though it's not coming in front of you, it's pasted. So don't press paste twice. Then you will get the error. Okay, so you will get this using for team ID and using for Gremlin identifier. That means your Gremlin has been initialized. Now to check whether Gremlin is properly initialized, just enter Gremlin check. So here main thing what you need to check is out of these logs, okay, this one should be okay. Eighth auth input type secret, okay, you should get okay, and also the credential everywhere you should get a this okay should be there. That's the main thing, and also at the end the daemon, this also should be okay. If you don't see any of these, then there is some issue in the way you have installed it, or there is something missing. Okay, you need to take care. So now, yeah, our installation is complete. Now you go to Gremlin back, go to agents, you will see our agent here. So how do I see the agent? Go to the AWS, and what's the private IP here? 172.31.9.122. So we need to look for that. See this one, right? 172.31.9.122. Our agent has been created. So
So
now we have,
it comes into Gremlin automatically.
yes, because the agent has started. No, here we
Okay.
did Gremlin age check, so that agent is
Okay.
running. So basically, if I
Okay.
run top also,
So
just I
so
run top.
Gremlin is just like a dashboard right
Correct.
now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Correct. So now we have the agent. Okay. So now just click on this attack host. Okay, and this just click attack this host. Okay. So now I have this host available to attack. Okay. So what I will do is I will just choose a gremlin. I'll choose a resource. I will go through this very detail. Okay, this is just a demo I'm giving you. So I'm just going through that. Just I will choose a CPU attack. Okay. And let's say I run it for around 3 minutes. Okay. And CPU capacity, let's say I hit 90%. Okay. And cores, I go to all cores. I unleash gremlin. So now my attack has is planned going to run. Okay. It's in a pending state now. I will explain you all this. Okay. In detail. Just I want to show you something like how, in a quick way, how you start an attack. Then we will go deeper into how you start the attack, what are the attacks, different attributes and everything. This is just to check our agent is working properly and we are able to attack. So here if I see now, see the gremlin is running, and if you see what's the CPU percentage, anyone? Are you able to observe?
Yeah, it's 89 point something,
Yeah,
90%.
it is fluctuating between 89 to 90 because we gave 90%, right? That's what our CPU capacity which we specified. So now Gremlin is running a CPU attack where the CPU is becoming 90%. The utilization is 90%. So our agent is working properly. We are able to run the attacks. So our configuration is correct, right? So that our sanity is running now properly. Now, if I go back to Gremlin, here I can see for how long I am running, how many cores I am running it on. Currently, the machine is one core. Okay? So there's no multi-core here. So that's why it's just one core. And also that length, like how long I'm running, like it's running for like 3 minutes. So for 3 minutes, it will be 90%. And if you see the output also, you can see those basic outputs here, like what is happening in the background. If I click on CloudWatch metrics here, just click on this. I'll just copy it and open it in there. So you can see the CloudWatch related metrics here, where you can see the CPU utilization and state where it will shoot to 90%. Okay, as it progresses. I'll give it little
When
lesser.
when you when you when you put the 90%, why is it
Yeah,
90? Why is it 90?
no, that you can do as per your test objective. Okay. So for example, yeah, I will explain you all this, but just since you are asked this question. So for example, if you want auto scaling, you want to test your auto scaling feature. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have kept it at, let's say, 70%. When your 70% pod utilization hits, you want to add new pod. Okay.
Okay.
So you can give 75% for your CPU attack.
Okay. So
Okay. So based on your,
this 90 is just like
yeah,
utilization
any,
limit,
correct. Yes.
utilization limits, right?
Yes, correct.
O-
Yes. But
Okay.
even if you want to try with 100 also, you can try. Okay, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sir, can we check the like auto scaling also through Gremlin? Like, for example, I want to uh, reach the usage till 70%, and then there is a mechanism that new pod will be started.
Yes, yes.
So,
We in
those
this
kind
course
of
we will be correct, correct.
okay.
So in this course we will have a separate, totally separate scenario where we will be seeing how the auto scaling works, how you test the auto scaling using the command line interface itself. Okay. So we have a totally and how you run the attack. I will be showing you that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. But here we are focusing on mainly horizontal scaling. Vertical scaling example I won't be taking. Mainly on the horizontal scaling. Yeah, I will explain you what is horizontal, what is vertical, what is scale out, scale in, and all those. Yeah, I'll explain you. For not no need to get overwhelmed by hearing these terms. If not, someone is not aware. Okay. What all I'll be taking, I'll be explaining everything. I will not be jumping over any terminologies. Though I know I might not go very deep into that, but you will be getting an idea what it is. Okay.
Hey Vishnu, Neelima
Yeah.
here. How can we access the dashboard that you are using for the experiment?
Yes, yes. This one I haven't given you access yet. I will be adding you to my team.
Okay.
Once the final you join the course and all, I get a
Yeah, yeah.
confirmation. Yeah. So then I will be adding you as a member here. So you can utilize this tool pro version for your purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Then I guess for now today, let's stop it here. I'm not jumping more into because since many haven't joined also, so they might also miss on to a lot of things. So if any questions, I can take up questions or else we can stop for today.
Please, did you share video of last class or last demo? Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, video, I guess it has been recorded and shared.
Okay.
If
Okay.
yeah, if it's not, I will ask them to put the link again.
Okay. So
Not
this
issue.
one, they will share the recording with the
Correct. Yeah.
documentation that you've taught
Yes,
so
yes.
far today. Okay.
The recordings you will get it today. The documents, this one you will get, and yeah, I guess yours is done, Joseph. So uh, uh, we will give you this tool access and also the document access soon.
Yeah, so that I can do exactly what you've done.
Yes, yes, yes. Sure. Yeah. Anyway, then let's stop it here. And always any queries, you can always contact me through WhatsApp. Anyone, I can resolve the queries through whenever you're
Which
doing
one?
or something.
Which one is the WhatsApp for you? Which one is that?
The one which I will put a hi now. Okay, you can contact from there. Anyways,
Um,
there will be a separate group also which will be created once the final batch is decided. Uh, so there, all the document, the everything will be shared. So that time it will be clear, Joseph.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Then have a good weekend, everyone. Meet you all on Monday. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you so much. Bye.